So earlier this morning, Jerry Jones went on to 105 through the fan, and he was asked about Trevon Diggs coming outside the locker room right after the game against the San Francisco 49ers and, giving his thoughts to the reporter who had put out a tweet basically about Trevon Diggs, asking him what he was doing on a certain play, and Trevon Diggs seemed to be frustrated with it, basically saying to the guy, "You can't do what I do." And it wasn't a great look for Trevon Diggs. But earlier today, here's what Jerry Jones had to say when asked about it on 105.3 The Fan.
Jerry, you brought up social media there, and Trevon Diggs got into it with a media member after the game. He went into the locker room, checked social media, saw a tweet that was posted, came out with a reaction. When you see one of your players do that, listening to the outside noise, is that an indication to you that their focus might be elsewhere?
Not at all. Not at all. They're focused on, they're disappointed that they didn't make a play, or they are more aware than anybody about what they might not have done, where they missed an assignment, could have made a play. So it doesn't surprise me at all. I have absolutely no compunction in dealing with emotion. Now, we all realize that we need to, if you will, bite your lip where you need to, and to that end, you want to not overdo it. Maybe I don't even need to remind you guys. I heard you build up to the show just a minute ago, and you were on with Tarika, and you were kind of giggling about the dust up that we had. And so bottom line is, guys, this is an emotional game, and it doesn't alarm me in any way to see the manifestation of emotion.
So Jerry says to end there, doesn't bother me at all to see the manifestation of emotion. And personally, I think with Trevon Diggs doing that, it's not the best look. It clearly shows, the frustration the Cowboys have with what's happened so far this season, currently sitting at 3-4. And I just think overall, the fact I think that I was most shocked about was the fact that he went into the locker room, was still wearing his pads, seemed like it must have been a few minutes, and that his first thing was to go onto Twitter to see what people are saying about him. And then to come out and sort of say what he did to the reporter. And even if, a reporter was being negative, which I'm not saying this one was specifically, but just in general, there's going to be negativity out there about you if you're a player, especially if you're playing for one of the most popular teams in the NFL, the team that's most scrutinized, most followed, most talked about, pretty much. There's going to be negativity, and I don't think that, going to check your Twitter mentions right away to see what's going on, what people are saying about you, is probably the best thing for players to do. And I think that, if you're Jerry Jones, clearly Jerry has no issue sharing his mind. He has no issue, sort of allowing his emotions to get the best of him a little bit at times. And I feel like that's sort of what happened with Trevon Diggs, where he was clearly very frustrated, felt that he had played a hard game, and felt that this reporter may have been questioning his effort. That's sort of the takeaway I got from that. But, I think it just sort of gives you, I think from a social media perspective, everyone's response to it was basically you sort of seeing into the Cowboys, and you're seeing the frustration boil over, and it sort of just looks like dysfunction taking place with the Dallas Cowboys right now, with them not really living up to what they were last year during the regular season. You'd assume if you're, any of the Cowboys players, defenders, you're pretty much almost the worst defense in all of football. I would assume there is a ton of frustration there, but you don't really want to see your players, sort of taking it out on reporters. And Jerry did bring up, sometimes maybe people need to bite their lip. And I think that, it has to be hard if you're an NFL player with all the criticism and, to take that constantly all the time. I bet it is a lot to deal with, and it's probably better off you just never look at anything. I know that's probably hard because you have your phone on you constantly, and you probably, if you're getting onto Twitter, you're probably seeing all that stuff. But probably best just to not look at anything. But you're going to come across things, and I just don't know if that wasn't a great reaction by Trevon Diggs. But that's all I wanted to share. If you want more Dallas Cowboys content, news, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.